Welcome, Brick fans, to the last stand of Peri Bodine and the village on the planet La Hague Airly. The people have risen up against the Empire as they sought to pillage the once lush planet for its natural resources and ancient artifacts. After a long-fought battle, the village has been decimated, leaving one brave girl, Peri Bodine, to protect her friends and stand alone against the might of the evil galactic empire. As her grief-stricken friend, Dal, holds his dying mother in his arms, Peri readies her blaster, standing by the now derelict archway to the village. The TIE fighter that did the damage now lay crashed only meters from the entrance as the Imperials close in around her. The odds may be stacked up against the girl, but the Force is with her. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed that little storyline that I've put together for this build that I've done for the Coconut Bricks Studios MOC contest, as well as a build for my faction, Followers of the Force. I will leave links to both of those below. If you have enjoyed the video so far, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. But right now I'm going to take you guys on to just show you some more of the close-ups and a bunch more features that I've put in this build. So stay tuned and I'll take you through that right now. So for this build, once I figured out the storyline, I did want to try out a new different cracked rock look for the ground. So that's something that I definitely tried to work into the build. Generally, I think it gave the right impact that I was looking for, which is that really broken, as though something's almost stomped on it, you know, like an AT-AT or something has come through and stomped and just broken this pretty solid ground. It was a lot of fun to put together. It's actually got some ball joint clips underneath that allow me to sort of do that bended effect. That worked out really well, and I enjoyed doing the transition as well, and just the borders and everything on this. Next up, the terrain that I did, just some close-ups here. I always liked sort of doing terrain. It's probably one of the most fun things that I like to do in the builds, and this one I decided to pick kind of very muted sort of tones for the ground, because I knew that I wanted to do the nougat for the background, and I wanted the archway to be the light bluish grey and really stand out. So I kept that the terrain to be the kind of dark brown, which is one of my favorite colors in Lego, and then also the reddish brown as well. Built up with a whole bunch of slopes and the freeform edges with just a few of these little stones and some of the dark tan bushes there, just to add a little bit of interest. Moving through into the village now, there is a tree that is over to the side. I really enjoy making these trees. I actually built one for the Socron Corvus MOC that I did previously, but this one was another one that I did a little bit different, where I actually had two main stems that sort of broke off from one another, and I picked a different color on this one. I actually went with the yellow leaves, which really gave it a bit of a pop and brought a bit of interest to the overall build. Up behind that, I really enjoyed making the derelict building at the back. This one with the kind of fairly Star Warsy, I would say, white doorway, and then up the top we've got a little sort of cooking area inside the derelict part, which I tried to kind of get some of that sort of lived-in feel across both of the buildings. And then down the bottom we've got this kind of, I figured it was sort of like a parts dealer or something like that. So it's got all these sort of detritus and stuff out the front, basically where the building has crumbled in the ground, and you can see poor old Dal just there with his mother that's dying, right in front of a crashed speeder bike with the scout trooper's helmet has actually been taken off. Now you'll see over near the tree there is actually another a little feature that I put in, which is the helmets that are on pikes, and I've included the TIE helmet, which is from the crashed TIE fighter, obviously at the front, and then also the scout trooper that fell off this little speeder bike. Moving up to the building that is to the left of that. Again, that sort of rounded archway, and then moving up into here in this section where I wanted to sort of make it feel like the edge of the floor was actually broken. So I've actually put some ball joints in there just to sort of, break that up and make it feel like it was actually kind of really caving in. And that's something that I tried to put across both of the buildings. You can see some of the areas here where I've really tried to chip things out. It was a tough build to do because I had to think about the design of the buildings, but then I had to destroy them. So and make them look interesting and not just like I chucked a whole bunch of pieces on there. So that's basically how I've done the back. And then moving through to one of the main features that actually was meant to frame Peri Bodine, our little hero there, is the main archway, which is one of the main things that I really wanted to do. It actually is a whole stack of different grey pieces, worked right up to sort of create this sort of half broken arch, continued through the kind of Hadrian's wall, I guess, kind of wall that I've done there, which is again just a whole stack of different parts. It's definitely a technique that I do like for these sort of pretty derelict looking cobbled together walls and towers. So that is pretty much it. The crashed TIE fighter is probably the last thing, and I had a lot of fun just kind of selling the fact that it had crashed by kind of taking out part of the wall that I'd put in, and also just a little section of the tower there as well, and then leaving a little trail of random TIE parts as well. So that brings us to the end of the vid today, Brick fans. I hope you enjoyed the story that I told at the start, as well as the run through of the features on this build. I had a lot of fun making this one for Coconut Brick Studios and for my faction. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any more mock updates that I have coming out. So until next time, enjoy your building, and may the bricks be with you.